Man, have you ever just had one of them days where you just couldn't find the end of it quick enough? I did a royal foobar over the weekend. We do our truck orders on Saturday, and on Saturday we have two different sections of the store. We have a cafe as well. They got to put their order in, and my order gets pulled automatically. I don't even have to bother with it. Just as soon as I get done with it, leave it in the computer, they get it when they're ready. Well, the cafe's order has to be posted. And I'm trying to adjust this thing. I think I'm wasting my little leg down here. The cafe, they got to place their own order. And they got to post it. And I got to go behind them and make sure that it's done, and I didn't. And now that order was supposed to be placed on Saturday before 8 p.m. and I actually didn't get it placed until about 10 o'clock this morning. They're going to help me out, though. They're going to get us stuff out so I can get that to continue to move. But yeah, that was a rough one. And had somebody quit today, so Big is kind of run wide open at everything. Now, here a while back, I got a hold of a batch of quarters at work, and I just thought it was odd of how well, they're all painted up and everything. I thought somebody was just bored as hell. But I thought they were cool, so I picked them up. And then on Rob's stream, I see him showing off a set of them, still in the plastic. I just thought they were neat. Like I said, at first I thought somebody sat there and got really bored. I didn't know it was a set. I've also got some gold-plated ones. I know that don't help the value of them, but it caught my eye. I don't know where. I got like 5 of them. I don't know why I ain't got the rest of them up here. Thought I brought them all out, set them off to the side. And this is one that I'm not really sure. I saw something about one here a while back, but I believe Rob referred to the plating process or whatever it's called. I think he called it annealing. And the other quarter I saw that was this color, apparently it had skipped the annealing process somehow or another. And this one, it just looks like copper. Thought it was cool. I gotta hide that. Y'all can't see it yet. There's a movie out. And this movie is called A Quiet Place, I think it is. And apparently some kind of alien has come down, and these things hunt by sound and everything, so everybody tries to be real quiet. We watched it the other day, and sitting in there in the living room watching Coin Hunting Couple, and I'd bought a few rolls, and they'd asked me which box I wanted. He gets them out and starts flipping them over and starts checking the enders and everything. And it's like 2 o'clock in the morning here. I'm the only one up. Everybody else is asleep. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Nate just screams, "Benji Enders!" And I jerked the remote up, smashed the power button, and sit there real quiet in the dark, waiting for my wife to come up the hallway like one of them critters on that movie. Just scared to make any noise at all. Luckily, it didn't wake her up. And I told Nate that I was going to have a post about him. Looking for another one. This one's gonna... I'm gonna leave the names out of this one, because if I don't, he'll shoot me. But I got an uncle, and some time ago, same one I was talking about a while back, and well, he decides he wants to kind of poke some fun at one of the other guys at work, and when we go to take lunch, well, he's in the passenger seat, one of the other foremen's in the driver's seat. They pull up and park, or he pulls up and parks. We all get out of the truck, start towards the building. Well, as soon as they get out of the truck and meet around the back of the truck, well, that uncle of mine, he thought it'd be funny. He just walks up to the other foreman and grabs his hand like this. Just laces fingers with him and goes to just swinging while they're walking towards the store. Now, unbeknownst to him, apparently the other foreman was a bit of a hoss when it come to a grip. Because when they got to the door of the Wendy's, my uncle tried to let go, and Gary locked down on him. And, I mean, I knew Gary was part mule. Me and him had goofed about a little bit on the job site and everything. He's a bear. And when they got up to the door, and that uncle of mine was trying to get away from him, you'd have thought he had his hand stuck, it looked like a wild animal with his paw stuck in a bear trap. I mean, he's jerking, got a hold of Gary's arm, trying to pull away from him and everything else, and he just ain't letting it happen. And he continued to hold his hand locked down when they walked inside, while they stood in line, when they got up to the counter. Gary has got the hand that Dennis is holding, and Gary is pointing at the screen. I want this one, and I want this one, and he wants this one, and he wants this one. And did not let go of his hand until they set the food down on the counter, and he was going to have both hands to carry that tray. Now, when they went to leave after we all got done eating and everything, we went to walk back outside. Well, Gary held his hand out to Dennis. Dennis just walked off towards the truck, cussing at him and everything else. Kind of broke him. I got another one about Uncle Dennis. Now, around these parts, when it comes to doing construction and stuff like that, I mean, there's a lot of families into it. And now, sometimes this ain't actually blood. Sometimes they just been there forever. And now, we had a new guy come on. And this is on a Monday. And when we all getting ready to go to lunch and everything, this new boy's been up in the man basket working with Dennis. And so they come off to the side a little bit. Stewart grabs him by the arm, Uncle Stu, and he gets hold of him and drags him off to the side and says, "Hey, man, you watch out for him." And that guy said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Well, Dennis, he ain't been out of prison very long, about 6 months or so. And now, if he offers you anything, a drink of soda, a cigarette, a candy bar, anything, you better tell him no, because you're going to owe him. And owing somebody that's been in prison means something totally different than owing somebody out here." Excuse me. Well, like I said, this was Monday going to lunch. Friday rolled around, and we was all headed out to lunch and everything, and Dennis, he looks over at Uncle Stu and he said, "Man, there's something wrong with this boy." Stewart said, "What do you mean?" And he said, "Man, he's one of them don't touch me freaks or something." Said every time I get over there next to him trying to put a screw in the panel or something like that, I mean, he just wants to freak out, just lets go and gets, And Stewart just busts out laughing. Dennis said, "What have you done?" So Stewart tells him. Said, "I told him you just got out of jail. And if you offered him anything, he better tell you no." So Dennis says, "All right." Stops at the store on the way back to the job site, goes in and buys him 2 Snicker bars. Sticks him in the pocket on his fatigues. Well, now if you're unaware of what a man basket is, a man basket is, well, it's an all-terrain vehicle that has, well, the ones that we used most were 40-footers, so it's got a boom on it that's about, probably about 18 foot long. And this boom will extend out to 40 foot. So that, you can take and pull up next to a building, fire this thing up, just raise right up there. It's like a big ladder. You don't even have to worry about climbing off of and moving. You just drive it up a little bit and there you are. So, they're up in this basket and everything, and break for that afternoon rolls around. Well, instead of taking the basket down, Dennis just reaches over, hits that kill switch, hops up on the handrail of the basket, sits down there, pulls one of them candy bars out, rips a wrapper off of it, takes him a big old bite, looks over at that other fella and goes, "Hey, man," and pulls that other candy bar out. "You want one?" No. "You sure?" "Yeah, man, I'm good. So, they get back to work. And now they're standing, putting panels on the side of this building. And the other fella has got to hold on to the panel while Dennis gets the basket in place and everything. And now, you're standing, leaning over the edge of this panel, or leaning over the edge of the handrail, and your arms are reaching out, not quite fully extended, but enough that you can hold a 3-foot wide panel. So, old boy's got one hand down here holding on to this side, and another hand up here holding on to this side. And Dennis gets that basket over there pretty close where it's supposed to be at, and Dennis comes up behind him, and he puts one hand up here, and the other hand down here, and he's got his chin right by old boy's ear, and he goes, "Oh, yeah." Well, when he did, the boy freaked out, let go of the panel, shoved Dennis back against the back of the basket, goes from leaning over the top rail of the basket to between the top rail and the second rail on the basket, and is screaming at Stewart. "Stewart, get me down now." So they finally get the basket to the ground and everything. I mean, he is not calming down. He does not care that this is any kind of a joke that everybody's been in on besides him. He thinks that Dennis was coming on to him. So as soon as this basket gets close enough to the ground, old boy just hops over the handrail and takes off running for Stewart. Now, keep in mind, this old boy was about 6 foot tall. Stewart's about 5'10", maybe if he's lucky. I mean, I'm not real sure, but I'm 6'3", and Uncle Stewart, he don't come up real high on me. And he run over behind Stewart and said, "Stewart, he was trying to screw me." Never did see him again after that. Always have fun telling that one. I think Dennis has more fun. But I believe that'll wrap it up. Oh, no, that won't wrap it up. I almost forgot what I had to hide. Because I hit 76 subscribers today. And today, I found a 2019 W River of No Return. So I think what we're going to do with this one is when I hit 100 subscribers, we'll do a little giveaway. I mean, I already got it wrote on there. It's not like I can take it back. Anyway, guys, appreciate it. Y'all listening to me pander on and just looking at the goofy stuff I tend to hold on to. Thank you for hitting that like button, leaving a comment and all that mess, and tell your friends. And y'all behave.